What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Moose, and I'm filling in for my guy Will. Now we're gonna go ahead and pick up his Aston Martin Vantage, get my first impressions on it, and show you guys the car on camera. Should be a really exciting wrap reveal, you know. So let's go ahead and see how this bad boy looks in person. I already know he's doing the Nardo gray, but you know, still should be real interesting to see how the car turned out. I'm about to drive it back for Will since he's not in Ohio currently, but I'll pick back up when we get to the spot, and then we can go from there. Alright guys, we just made it to the spot. We're about to go ahead and pick Will's car up real quick, and then I can go from there. Alright guys, we're now in the Vantage. Out of respect for the guy, we didn't go ahead and show the car at his crib, but I'm gonna pull off somewhere on the way home to Will's house. I'll pull off somewhere and get you guys some decent footage of the car from the outside, and then I'll give you my first impressions on it. I didn't really look too hard, you know, but it should definitely be pretty cool. From what I've seen, it looks pretty sweet, so yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. Alright guys, are you ready? Check her out. Let's go ahead and flip the camera, show you guys the car, give you a walk around, and then I'll give you my first impressions on it as well. Alright guys, here she is. This is the new wrap for the Aston Martin Vantage. Check it out. Very different. I've never seen anyone do like this style of wrap before on a Aston, or even in general, really. It's very unique though. Let's go ahead and give you guys that walk around of it. Right, pretty clean, pretty clean. So what are my first impressions on it? I actually kind of like it. I think it's it looks like a race car almost. It kind of got a race car vibe to it. Now maybe if I was doing this car and if I wanted to wrap it this style, maybe I'd do like a little circle here with a livery number on it or something, to kind of go with the theme, do it on both sides, you know. But the gray complements this car very nicely, especially like on this side profile, right? Check that out. I think that looks pretty sweet, honestly. You can kind of see it right there. Looks pretty menacing. I like the gray a lot, especially with these clear taillights right there. It just ties together real nice with everything, right? And then if you guys get bored with the gray, you know, you got a whole different car on this side. Let's go ahead and show you, right? Got a whole different car on this side, so you can start fronting, telling people you got two Vantages all the time. You got one car, you know. But it's very nice though. Me personally, I think I like the red a little bit more. From I believe the company is called Vusi. I like the red a little bit more. I think it kind of complements the body lines of the car well, and it's very dynamic looking, which is why I like it more. But I like this Nardo gray a lot. I think you can't go wrong with Nardo gray. Whatever car you have, a safe color is always going to be Nardo gray, in my opinion. So looks pretty good. It's very unique. Drove this car, I think this is the first time I really drove a Vantage. It's very similar to a Mercedes. It gives me a Mercedes AMG GT S, GT63 vibe, heavy, which is a good thing because I like those cars a lot. But you get the Aston Martin styling as well with it, which is a plus. Some people like the GTs, some people hate them. Me personally, I'm a fan, so I'm a fan of both cars. I think they both look good. But yeah, guys, out of respect for the guy, I didn't really want to record too much at his place. I was like, I'll just wait till I get somewhere reasonable and then get you guys some proper footage of the car. But here she is. Hopefully you guys like the car. Go ahead and drop a comment with your opinion on the wrap. let Will know what you guys think. That's what I think of this car. So give them your feedback. Do you guys like it? Do you dislike it? If so, what do you hate about it? What do you love about it?
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Will Motivation, and today we are talking to the kids in a special program, like a summer program here in Columbus, Ohio, and we're headed to the Park of Roses. We're taking out the BMW M4 for a little extracurricular activity. We got Kenny over there in the BMW M8 with the Beamer boys today, and unfortunately we don't have the rest of the crew with us, but there may be some other people there that have some cool cars. Basically, we're going to talk to the kids about career pathways. Man, I barely got any sleep last night, but we're dedicated to giving back in this video.
Yeah, it's a vibe. DJ Lizzy, David J. Girl, break me up with your bubble. Give me good wine with your bubble. Champion things with your bubble. No long things for your bubble. Champion bubble.
We have some excellent people here for you today. A lot of mentors from every area, different area. We have athletes here, we have people in the military forces here, we have physicians here. We have a lot of different things for you so that you can see what way would you like to go and have conversations with some of these people to see how they got to their pathway, how they got to where they are. Now, towards the end today, we get an opportunity to look at some of the fruits of their labor, some of the cars that they have that are amazing out here. Some of these cars may be some cars that you want to have one day, but you can find out the pathway to get there. But I want you not only to see them, hear them, but ask questions. This is, you're around some people that you may not normally have an opportunity to talk to see what it takes to be successful, because these are all very, very successful people. So do not sit back. And in fact, I want to find out from them who asked the best questions, because I have something for them today. And I may jump in at different times just to see if you are paying attention, close attention. So who likes money? Who likes money? Everybody. A lot of these people make a lot of money sometimes. So I want you to understand that they are taking their time for you to give back to you so that they can help you with your pathway in life.
I study computer science. I'm kind of funny how I got into it. I knew I want to study something that could make money. So I thought engineering or maybe computers. And I was kind of good at computers because somebody told my parents that you should get a computer in the house because computers are the future. They listen to them, but computers sit there and collect the dust until we figured out you can play games on it. Figured out you can play games on it, and so I learned how to work computers. So I studied computer science at Hampton. Came out, became a software engineer. When I started, I made about $35,000 a year. Now, software engineers starting out probably make anywhere from $75,000 to over $100,000 just coming out of college. So you put in 4 years, you could do really well. I did that for a while until I figured out that there was a ceiling. Like I got my first paycheck, I bought a stereo system and realized I only had so $35,000 a year is roughly $3,000 a month. You take taxes out, you're left with about $2,000 and some change. I bought a stereo system, it was like $800, and the money I had left over was really just barely enough to survive for the month. So once I realized that, I started thinking I had to figure out a way to make more money because I wanted nice things. So this is one of the things that this event is the cars, and I love cars. So I always wanted to have a Lamborghini one day. I have a Lamborghini now. I had Ferraris, Porsche, everything you can probably think of, I've probably had. But anyway, I became an entrepreneur. I started a website for black colleges. It's called HBCU Connect. That was one of the first social networks on the internet. And that's my story in a nutshell. Corporate America, entrepreneurship, and now I invest in real estate a lot.
No discipline, no success. I gave that to my son. If I called him right now and I said, what's my favorite saying? He'd answer that same question. No discipline, no success. If you're not disciplined, you won't be successful.
That rings true. Like all of us want to make it through college, you got to be disciplined. But even if you don't go to college and you set a goal, in order to make it to that goal, you got to be focused, you got to be disciplined to get there. So no discipline, no success. I'm going to tell you guys my favorite saying that motivated me, and that is, figure out what you want and act accordingly. So everybody says like they want to be rich and stuff like that, right? I want to be rich, or I want to be famous, I want to be this and that. You don't really want that unless you're willing to do what it takes to get it. So figure out what you want and act accordingly. Let's say you want to be whatever in the future. You want to be famous, successful, you want to run your own business, you want to be a doctor, whatever. Figure out what other people have done to get there. Because there's always a story. If you look at your situation, you might not think it's possible for you to get there. There's always a story of somebody that was just like you that got to where you want to be. So figure out what you want and act accordingly. Act like you really want it. Choosing who you associate with. When I went to college, when I was in high school, I was smart, so I didn't really study and stuff, so I ended up with like a 2.9 GPA, went to college and stuff like that. But when I went to college, I knew I had to pay for it, and I knew I was going so that I could make money when I graduated. That was my whole mission. I didn't care anything about the games, the playing, and all that stuff. I wanted to make money. So when I went to school, I chose my roommate, who by coincidence was going to my same college, was in my high school. And he was the valedictorian, he was the #1 student in my high school. And I was like, maybe if he's my roommate, then I could see how he studies and how he does what he does to be the #1 student. He ended up being the #1 or #2 student in the whole entire university. But when I chose him as my roommate, I saw how he studied. Every time he came home to the room, he was in them books. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just copy what he does. Figure out what you want and act accordingly. I want to make money. I want to be the #1. I didn't want to be the #1 student in the whole college. I want to be like the #1 in my department. And I ended up being the #1 in my department because I chose to be around people, to Fred's point, that could bring me up and do things in a way that I could learn from them and end up being where I want to be. Growing up, I didn't have any examples of, my parents didn't make money really. So I didn't have any examples, so I had to figure it out as well. But it went back to my saying, which is figure out what you want and act accordingly. So I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be wealthy. I wanted to have crazy stuff, like whatever. So figured out what I want and acted accordingly. So I started looking at people that had money and what they did. And what I noticed is people that had a lot of money had real estate. So I started buying real estate. I bought houses, a lot of houses, and land and stuff like that. Because I saw that's what people were doing when they had money. Then I started learning about it. Like I bought books and stuff and started reading how to invest in real estate. I've invested in the stock market, but I figured out what people were doing that had money, and I started copying what they did.
It's the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm here to tell you guys to go to Will Motivation. The exotic cars is crazy. I've been watching this show for a little while now and it's growing. But we need everybody else to subscribe to Will Motivation and support Will. I'm supporting him. You do the same.